Deepti Laurent joins me on the set now for a look at the papers today. Hi, Deepti.
Hi, Jeannie.
You're going to start with political unrest that's ongoing in the West African nation of Benin.
That's right. Political unrest that actually began with parliamentary elections on Sunday. The results there showing a historically low turnout and revealing that all candidates vying for a seat in the parliament came from parties aligned with the president, Patrice Talon. In other words, there was no opposition candidate. This actually prompted former President Thomas Bonyayi to call for a boycott of the elections. Protesters then gathered outside his house on Wednesday after police surrounded his house. Bonyayi's allies say the police came to detain him, but authorities deny this. What's kind of resulting in what our colleagues at RFI are calling a very confusing situation. It has prompted a editorial from this regional website, Wakatsera, in which they say that May the 1st was a black stain on Benin because, I quote, Patrice Talon, the president, obstinately continues to stab democracy in the back by refusing to put the brakes on the election.
Deepti, in the UK, there's a lot of coverage over Theresa May, the Prime Minister, who fired one of her closest allies, the Defence Minister Gavin Williamson.
That's right. And for his part, he's denying being involved in this scandal, but it is certainly dominating the papers today. Williamson was found responsible for leaking information about a secret government meeting with Huawei, the Chinese telecom giant. That meeting also discussing a decision to allow the Chinese to play a role in setting up 5G networks around the UK. Metro here, as you see, going with a play on words headline that only makes sense if you say it out loud. Go Huawei and shut up, or go away, the paper says. Metro saying he could actually face up to 2 years in prison if found guilty of breaching the Official Secrets Act. For the Times writer, Williamson broke two cardinal rules. He leaked truly official secret information, and he was part of a very small circle of people who knew about this information, making it easier to find the culprit. The writer here is surmising that it might have also been kind of his personality. He's been known to boast that he made Theresa May who she is and that he could break her. That's according to this writer. I quote, it's exactly the sort of swaggering male condescension that she hates.
All right, swaggering male now of another kind from the sports world, Lionel Messi. What's up with him?
Well, he struck twice. The Argentine attacker struck twice for Barcelona against Liverpool in yesterday's first leg of the semi-final of the Champions League. He scored his 600th goal in the process, helping Barca to a crushing 3-0 victory, thanks to a goal also by Luis Suarez. A giant step, that's what this Mundo Deportivo, the Catalan sports paper, says on its front page. Diabolical is how L'Equipe, the French sports paper, puts it. A lot of superlatives in the sports pages today.
Now, also, L'Equipe is covering another big story from the sports world. That's that ruling on the South African runner, Caster Semenya.
That's right. That ruling coming on Wednesday, the Court of Arbitration in Sport has ruled against her appeal to overturn a previous ruling that she'd have to reduce her naturally high levels of testosterone to be able to take part in the women's section of international competitions. You know, there's a real wave of support for Semenya in the press today. This writer for USA Today saying, I quote, Semenya did not choose this condition, not any more than Michael Phelps chose his inordinately wide wingspan, or Usain Bolt chose his considerably long legs. The court's ruling for this writer clearly shows that discrimination is wrong unless it's being used against women like Semenya.
All right, Deepti, just to wrap up now, New York and all of Hollywood actually is gearing up for the Met Ball, which is organized by Vogue editor Anna Wintour. That's next Monday.
That's right. It's fashion's night of nights. This year's theme is Camp, Notes on Fashion. It's a title of a 1964 essay by Susan Sontag. As this is a very organized affair and guests are selected by Anna Wintour, you can imagine there's a lot of thought and control that goes into it. In fact, The Independent notes that there are some very important rules to follow. No minors are invited, no smoking in bathrooms, no selfies, although that one is frequently breached. There are some weird rules too. Wintour wants no onion or garlic in the food, so nobody has bad breath all night, and no parsley for a similar reason, so no one's got green stuff stuck in their teeth. There's also the guest seating arrangements, which is apparently like a major diplomatic affair planned in accordance with who's been sitting with whom in previous events and how compatible they could be.
Interesting. All right, thanks for that, Deepti Laurent, for that look at what the papers have been saying today. Don't forget, you can watch this again if you want on our website. That address, france24.com.